19. 2-1 career-wise against the Reds, and Randy's last start was a no decision against Montreal when he worked 7 innings, allowing just 2 hits and a run. His last loss was to Atlanta, 3-1, and the win was shutting out the Marlins 9-0. On the other side, Chris Reitsma, of course, is 2-2. His last start was against the Dodgers in 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned. So Chris is due to crank up a gem, and I guess you would say he almost has to if he wants to win.
As usual, our first delivery brought to you by UPS, Ground Overnight International at myups.com, and by Jip. Choosy moms choose Jip, as Donnie Sadler leads things off tonight, right-handed batter. Randy Johnson into the windup, and he delivers, and the first pitch is a strike, and this game is underway. Umpires tonight, behind the plate, Lance Barksdale, Marvin Hudson at first, Tim Welke at second, Tim Timmons at third. Umpires sponsored by Eye Care Associates of Greater Cincinnati. Here's a swing and a foul out of play to the right. Trust your eyes to the home team by calling 513-221 LASIK. They're focused on your vision. 2 strikes and nothing on the 167 batting Sadler. He'll be followed by Juan Castro and then Barry Larkin. So Bob Boone really shaking the lineup up tonight, trying to come up with a combination that might score some runs and might hang a loss on this rather imposing left-hander. He's back with the 0-2 pitch, and that hangs high for a ball. Don't forget, score big with Pepsi and Kroger. When you hear the Reds' first hit, be the 7th caller. 1-800-843-2441, and you'll win a $50 gift certificate from Kroger, plus a chance for the grand prize of a year's supply of groceries from Kroger. All from Pepsi and Kroger. And there's strike 3 call. Pitch on the inside, and Sadler back to the dugout, bat in hand, and that'll bring up Juan Castro with 1 out.
Well, if he's on his game control-wise and making those quality pitches, he can be very difficult. You have to hope to get a mistake from him.
Well, he's given up 8 home runs coming into this game tonight in 51 2/3 innings. Don't let the 366 earned run average fool you. That is as a result of one particularly bad outing. He delivers to Castro, and Juan takes it high and outside, ball 1. You're listening to our broadcast on your car or your truck radio. Please buckle up your seatbelt. Make sure everyone else in your vehicle has their seatbelts fastened also. Swing and a miss. Castro batting .256, no homers and 2 RBIs, and count evens on him at 1-1 as Barry Larkin waits on deck. And the left-hander turns it loose and drops that one in there for strike 2 call. 3 times he has won the Cy Young Award, including the last 2 years. He's taken them back-to-back here in the National League. He works, and Castro taps it right back to Johnson. Up with it, flips on to first, and quickly they're 2 men out. As part of its extra effort program, the Ohio Casualty Group donates $50 to Habitat for Humanity each time the Reds hit a double, and $100 each time they hit a triple. It's the extra effort program from the Ohio Casualty Group. Protect what's yours. The total for the season stands at $3,450. So a strikeout and the ground out, and here's Barry Larkin batting .326. Johnson bidding for the 1-2-3 first inning as he sights a sign and works, and Larkin takes a strike. Mark Grace at first, Jay Bell at second, Tony Womack at short, Craig Counsell at third, with Luis Gonzalez left, Steve Finley in center, and Reggie Sanders in right. Damian Miller catching. Randy Johnson with a strike 1 pitch. Larkin checking on a pitch away, and that evens a count. One ball, 1 strike. Pitching, swung on, and pulled foul at third base. Johnson getting ahead of the count here in the first inning. He has punched out Sadler. He has gotten Castro on a easy 1 bouncer back to the mound, and he's ahead in the count against Larkin with Alex Ochoa, the cleanup batter, waiting on deck. Reds have lost only 1 game in the history of this building. They're 10-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a pitch away. An impressive first by Johnson, and after a half inning, Cincinnati nothing, and the Diamondbacks are coming to bed. It was impressive, and now young Chris Rietzman makes his first ever career appearance against the Diamondbacks, and his margin of error might not be very big tonight. As he works to the leadoff batter, Steve Finley, and the first pitch is at the knees for a call strike. Finley, a .239 batter. He's homered once. He's driven in 12 runs, and the next pitch is taken for a strike. Of course, Chris Rietzman coming back to an area which has good memories for him. He was one of the standout pitchers in the Arizona Fall League this past fall. And the 0-2 pitch to Finley, and that's a swing and a fly ball to left. Straight away, Sadler moving a bit off to his right, and he makes the catch. Here's Jay Bell. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. Jay Bell, a non-participant in last night's game, batting .299. Off to a good start. 5 home runs and 21 RBIs. Right-handed batter takes the first pitch for a ball. He broke an 0 for 13 drought with a double and 2 runs on Sunday in the win against the Mets at Chase Stadium. But had a rough road trip. That pitch is just high for a ball. He went 3 for 23. Ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. He'll be followed by the leading home run hitter in the major leagues in Luis Gonzalez. This one a high curving foul ball that'll drift out of play down beyond the first base dugout. Reds have Juan Castro at first. First time he's played there, not counting spring training, since he was 8 years old. Pokey Reese at second, Barry Larkin at short. The third baseman is Aaron Boone. Rietzman 2-1 to Bell, and a bouncer foul off third. Donnie Sadler in left, and center Ruben Rivera, in right field Alex Ochoa. So a good portion of the Cincinnati offense begins this game on the Pine. Sean Casey, Dimitri Young, swinging another foul off the right side. Michael Tucker, of course, not in the lineup, as Bob Boone stacks his lineup with all right-handed batters, hoping that something good will come of it. No score. We're in the bottom of the first, and it's a 2-2 count with 1 out on Jay Bell. The wind, the kick, and the pitch, and it's a swing and another foul to right. Look for Conn's Big Red Smokies. They're mildly smoked and seasoned just right. Conn's, the official hot dog of the Reds. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rietzman with a motion, pitching, and another pop-up that'll be out of play. So Jay Bell providing a lot of souvenirs for the folks who've turned out here at Bank One Park tonight, and a lot of people disguised as empty seats. The bloom is a bit off the rose here in the Valley of the Sun in terms of big numbers that this franchise has enjoyed. Here's a bouncing ball foul down to the far end of the third base dugout. Diamondbacks averaging over 31,300 per home game. Here's a ground ball by the mound. There's Reese. He picks it up and he throws to first, and there are 2 men out. Here's Luis Gonzalez, who cracked his 17th home run of the season, or make that his 16th homer of the season last night. What's interesting about that number is he didn't hit his 16th home run last year until the 10th of June in his 61st game, and number 17 didn't come until June the 26th in his 75th game. Left-hand batter, and he looks at strike 1. Trying for the 1-2-3 first is Chris Rietzman, and that one a breaking ball in. His 16 home runs put him 2 up on San Francisco's Barry Bonds in the National League. That pitch is in for a call strike at the letters. And and it's 4 better than the pace setter in the American League and Toronto's Carlos Delgado. Behind of the count is the left-handed batting Gonzalez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Finley is flied to left. Bell is bounced out to second base, and Rietsma wheeling and dealing, and Gonzalez pulls it foul. This series will conclude in another 9:35 start tomorrow night. While Rietsma makes his first ever appearance tonight against Arizona, the Reds will be facing a man for the first time ever tomorrow night, right-hander Robert Ellis. Swing and a pop-up. Got in on his hands, and Castro backs to play it at first base to end the inning. At the end of 1 complete, the Reds and the D-backs are scoreless. 247-1100 or toll free at 1-800-354-8108. Alex Ochoa leading off the top of the second, and he takes the first pitch strike. Johnson struck out Sadler, got Castro on a comebacker, struck out Larkin. That's how the Reds' first inning went. Ochoa batting .316 with a home run. He's driven in 13, will be followed by Aaron Boone and then Ruben Rivera. Swing and a miss, pitch down and in. He's behind 0-2. Ochoa back in the box, feet spread wide apart. Outfield for the Diamondbacks, playing him straight away. And he hits it foul to right field. In many instances, and nobody can answer why, but there are those who would tell you that if you keep it close, if you stay close to him, he will more often than not make a mistake that in many cases will cost him the ball game. And there's strike 3 swinging. Ochoa tried to check his swing and couldn't do it. Johnson has punched out 3 of the first 4 batters to face him, and he goes to work on Aaron Boone. Of course, one of the big problems this year has been the lack of offense that the people playing behind him have generated. Here's Boone batting .296. He's homered 5 times with 20 runs batted in. And it's up and outside a ball. A reminder that all this season, AK Steel donates $200 to charity for every Red stolen base. Again, this season, every Red steal is an AK Steel. Here's a pitch, and that's a swing and a broken bat ground ball to third. Counsell has it, and the throw across is in time, 2 out. Now Ruben Rivera. $6,600 is the total for the year. The Reds have swiped 33 bases in 41 attempts. A 2 up, 2 down, and Rivera, a .283 batter, steps to the plate. Couple of home runs. He's got some power, and the pitch to him is a foul ball straight back. With a win last night, the Reds remained 4 back of the Chicago Cubs in the Central, and the Cubbies are being shut out tonight in the 7th inning in Milwaukee, 4-0. Checking scores of other games brought to you by Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. In the 8th, Philly and Houston 2-2. In the 6th inning, it's the Cardinals 6, the Pirates nothing. In the 2nd inning, Colorado 4, the Mets nothing. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and strike 2 call. In the American League in the 8th, Boston all over Seattle 11-3. Cleveland 8, Kansas City 4 in the 8th. Texas up a run in Detroit 4-3 in the 8th inning. In the 9th, Oakland over Toronto 8-5. Johnson pitching, and a swing and a miss. He has struck out 4, and the Reds are out in order for the 2nd straight time. In the middle of the 2nd, Cincinnati, Arizona, 0-0. With our friend, and we certainly hope yours, beat writer from the Cincinnati Post, our good friend Tony Jackson.
I have a question for you.
Yes, you do.
Have you and Joe ever considered, when the Reds come into Arizona, ever doing a broadcast from the pool area out there?
Have we ever considered that?
Yeah.
Here's a swing and a foul ball back by Reggie Sanders. That almost picked off Chris Welch. Why would we consider coming to an enemy ballpark and playing and doing a broadcast from the swimming pool?
The only reason I'm asking is, I was looking out there with the binoculars, and of course, anytime I look at a pool area through binoculars, what I'm looking for is to make sure all the people out there are having a good time.
Here's a ground ball hit to short. Larkin fields and throws Sanders out. And were they having a good time tonight?
Well, I mean, there was a look of joy on all of their faces, so I just assumed that, it looked like a really happy thing going on out there, so I thought maybe that'd be a good place for you guys to do a broadcast sometime.
It would be an awfully nice place to do a broadcast from, but then you'd have a heck of a long walk coming out there to talk to us in the second inning. You know what I mean? You have to start about 5:30.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work too good.
One out in the inning, and here's Mark Grace. And the pitch is swung on and tapped to a charging Castro, who underhands to pitcher Reachma for the second out.
We better get down to business pretty quick.
And that's rather apropos that Castro makes a pickup. Here he is at first base for the first time, not counting spring training, since he was 8 years old.
Right. And he's, Bob Boone talked early in spring training about wanting Juan Castro to take some ground balls over there because he's so gifted defensively that Bob thought that if he could master playing first base as well as he plays those other 3 positions on the infield, that he could be a good guy to stick in there late in games when the Reds have a 1 or 2 run lead as a defensive replacement out there with Reese Larkin and Aaron Boone. Castro went along with it. I don't know how crazy he is about it, but he willingly went along with it. And the one thing he's a little concerned about, I think, is he said he has only taken ground balls 1 or 2 times since the season started. And when he was taking ground balls a lot early in spring training, he said it kind of screwed him up at the other positions. You may recall real early in spring training, he made a couple errors at shortstop in the exhibition games, and I think that's probably what was going on there. Dimitri Young back was bothering him, so Bob couldn't stick him at first base, so Castro, he felt, was a natural choice.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Damian Miller with 2 outs. No score in the second as we talk with the post Tony Jackson. Whole lot of offense sitting on that bench tonight with Dimitri Young and Sean Casey and Michael Tucker.
And most managers will go heavily right-handed against Randy Johnson. I think the thing you worry about with your left-handed guys is not so much how they're going to fare against Randy, but facing Randy, what's that going to do to him the next 3 or 4 days?
Yeah. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Damian Miller, and it's a line drive into left, and that's a base hit. And that's the first base runner of the night. 2-out single by Miller that will extend the inning for shortstop Tony Womack. And you dropped on me away from this game that Jose Rijo is coming back to Cincinnati.
Well, apparently that's the rumor, and Jim Bowden said it on his radio show tonight. Tentatively scheduled to throw a side session Friday before the game with Houston back at Synergy Field. Another comeback attempt for Jose, and we'll see how it goes. A great guy, and everybody loves him, and I'm sure everybody's rooting for him.
Oh, yeah.
I still think it's probably a long shot.
Yeah, but you got to think you got to cover yourself.
Right.
You can't say, no, we don't want to see how he throws, and all of a sudden something miraculous happens. He goes somewhere else and starts winning ball games.
Right, absolutely not. And here's a guy who won a lot of games for a lot of years and probably deserves the shot.
Exactly.
And if he's been if he's been throwing as they say he has been, and he's kept himself in shape as they say he has, he deserves a shot. And the Reds can always use pitching help.
No question. Tony Womack, a hard one bouncer back to Reachma, who throws to Castro and ends the inning. Let's see, we visit with you on Friday night, so we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about Rijo after the fact then and see how it went.
Very good.
Perfect.
Nice talking with you, Tony.
As always.
Tony Jackson from the Cincinnati Post. One hit, one left. To the third we go. Nothing.
The wife of Officer Stephen Roach says she and her husband have been in hiding since the April 7th shooting of Timothy Thomas. Aaron Roach says he did not intend to kill Thomas and will be found not guilty. I'm Mike Schell. In-depth team coverage after the game on News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
No score at the end of 2 innings of baseball. The Reds come up for the 3rd time tonight against Randy Johnson. Pokey Reese will open the 3rd, and with a play-by-play, here's Joe Nuxall.
Thank you, Marty. And Pokey owns a .274 batting average with a home run and 10 RBIs. Johnson has struck out 4 of the first 6 batters. Well, it's Reese, Stinnett, and Reitsma here in the 3rd for the Reds. Johnson ready to go to work on Pokey, and his first pitch on the way, and Reese takes it to strike on the inside corner. Make it a ball. Ball 1 to Pokey. Reds trying to make it 2 in a row over the Diamondbacks. Reese swings and fouls the next pitch. That one into the seats off to the right. Count evens 1-1. Outfield shading Pokey around to the right a couple of steps. Johnson delivers, swung on, and that's a liner that Jay Bell picks off at second base. 1 away. And here's Kelly Stinnett. Kelly, 281 batting average with a home run, 6 RBIs, a double. Johnson in his 8th start of the year. He has had 2 complete games. Stinnett a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Johnson delivers, and Stinnett swings and misses another breaking pitch. An 0-2 count to Stinnett. Chris Rietsma on deck. He delivers the 0-2. That's a fastball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and that's 5 of them. Well, quickly 2 away, and Chris Rietsma, the platter. Rietsma, a 200 batting average. Johnson into the wide, and the pitch, and Rietsma takes the fastball for a called strike. A wide the pitch. That's strike 2 called at the knees. Johnson, the last 2 years, has struck out 300 batters or more. Last year, 347, and in 99, 364. And the pitch just a bit high. A ball, 2 strikes to Rietsma. Johnson delivers, and Rietsma swings and misses, and he takes over 11th place in the all-time strikeouts ahead of Bob Gibson. With that, his 6th of the ball game. Reds out in order, middle of the 3rd, no score. Had a base hit that belongs to Damian Miller, who singled with 2 out in the 2nd. Well, Chris Rietsma looking for his 3rd win of the year. This is 7th start. And he ready to go to work on Craig Counsell. His first pitch is taken under the knees, ball 1. Counsell, a 245 batting average. He's had 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. A wide the pitch, swung on and fouled. That one into the seats to the left. A ball, a strike. Rietsma with the 1-1. Counsell takes strike 2 call on the inside corner, and a 1-2 count. Counsell away from the plate now, steps back. Stinnett hangs the sign, and Rietsma delivers. That's inside, a fastball, and the count evens 2-2. Johnson waiting on deck. The break-even delivery. Swung on, pulled into right field, a base hit. That a changeup, and Counsell able to lay back and get the bat on the ball. 2nd hit of the game for the Diamondbacks. And here's Randy Johnson. He'll be called on the bunt. Steve Finley moves to the on-deck circle. Johnson has had 2 sacrifice bunts. The pitch swung on, and the fly ball to center field. Both Boone and Reese charging. Castro staying home at first base, but Johnson trying the slug bunt, lifts it into center field where Rivera puts it away, and with one out, Steve Finley, the batter. Finley, a fly ball to Sadler. In the first inning. Now Barry Larkin has something in his eye or what? Greg Lynn is out, and apparently that's what has happened. And he says he's all right as Lynn heads back to the Reds dugout. Finley, a 236 batting average, a home run, 12 RBIs. Chris Reitsma, the stretch. He delivers, and Finley looks at it low and outside of ball. This one is seventh start with a .411 earned run average, 35 innings. He has allowed 37 hits. Has struck out 21. Was walked in. Jay Bell, the on-deck batter. Reitsma sets the pitch, and a strike called. Fastball at the knees. Now evens 1-1. One out with Counsell at first base. Reitsma checks Counsell and delivers. Swung on and pulled deep, but foul down the right field line. That'll land into the seats. And a ball, 2 strikes. Baseball for Reitsma. Reitsma waiting on the sign. Now the stretch. Go over to first. Counsell back. Finley back into the batter's box. And the stretch. The 1-2. That swung on and popped up in the infield. Calling for it is Juan Castro at first base in fair territory, and that's out number 2. Well, with 2 down, Jay Bell, the batter. Jay grounded to Reese in the first inning. Jay asking Chris Spire for another set of signs at third base. Reitsma to the belt and delivers, and Bell takes it high and inside, a changeup. One ball, no strikes. Reitsma with the 1-0, and Bell swings and fouls. That one into the upper deck, off to the right, and out of the upper deck, and down into the lower deck, and finally a gentleman in the box seats retrieves the old baseball. Well, 1-1 count to Bell. Third inning, no score. Reitsma sets. He delivers, and Bell swings and again fouls into the upper deck. That one stays. 1-2. Counsell at first base with 2 out. Reisman sets. And a bluff to first. Bell back into the batter's box, and Reisman checking with Stinnett. Still looking. Now the stretch. A look at Counsell, the pitch. That's down low. Breaking pitch. 2-2. Bell has hit 5 long ones and has driven in 21. Jay, who made his home and was from Valrico, Florida, now makes his home here in Arizona, in Phoenix area. The pitch swung on. That's chop foul over the Diamondbacks dugout. Well, it stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, the 2-2. That's a swing and a foul straight back. Reisman, another baseball. Bell back in, and Chris the stretch. He checks Counsell and delivers. That's just under the knees. Change up and a full count now to Jay Bell. Oh, they're going to move Castro behind Counsell at first base. Reisman ready with the payoff. He sets and delivers, and that's a swing and a miss on a good fastball at the knees. First strikeout for Reisman. They get a base hit and strand a runner, and after 3, no score. Through the lineup for the second time, Donnie Sadler will lead it off. He led off the game by taking a called 3rd strike from Randy Johnson. 1 of 6 that Johnson has had through the first 3 innings. Sadler, Castro, and Larkin here in the 4th for the Reds. No score. Reds looking for their first base hit. And Johnson works to Sadler, and it's a swing and a foul on the breaking ball. And Donnie way out in front. Sadler, a 167 batting average, a home run, 3 RBIs. Johnson with the 0-1. Sadler takes the fastball high. A ball, a strike. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch down at the knees. 1-2. Castro waits on deck. The 1-2. That's up high, a fastball. 96 miles per. Two balls, 2 strikes. Johnson's 2-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Bounces away from Miller. He picks it up and goes on to first as Sadler heads back to the dugout. 7 of them now for Johnson. And with 1 away, Juan Castro, the batter. Castro bounced back to the mound in the first inning. Johnson delivers. Castro takes the fastball on the outside edge for a called strike. The 0-1. Juan looks at it outside, and it evens 1-1. 1-1. Juan swings and misses the slider in on his hands. 1-2. Randy Johnson to the plate. Swing and a miss, and 8 strikeouts. I'll tell you what, they're not going to have room enough on that board in right field. A K board. They're running out of room in a hurry. 8 Ks already, and we're in the 4th inning. This rate, he's working on a pace about 19. Larkin swings and fouls the first pitch. Barry struck out to end the first inning. Alex Ochoa on deck. Johnson the 0-1, and Larkin takes the fastball high and inside. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1. Again high. 2-1 to count. The sign. And the 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball as the bat slips out of Barry's hands and goes behind the plate. He's got a pretty good breaking pitch tonight, or here early in the game. So 2-2 now to Larkin with 2 out. Johnson with the 2-2. And this is low and away. Full count. 8 strikeouts through the first 3+ innings. He's 3-2 with Larkin. Reds yet with a base runner. And the payoff. Swung on, pulled foul off third. A 3-2 count. Johnson waiting on Larkin. Barry back into the batter's box, and he winds and delivers. Swung on and grounded foul off third. Breaking pitch. Ochoa waiting on deck. Johnson again, the 3-2. Swung on, foul into the seats off to the right. Well, Barry hanging in with Randy Johnson. Reds looking for their first hit and base runner. Sorry, Barry has hit third in the lineup this year. Again, the payoff. Swung on, and that's another strikeout, number 9 for Johnson, as a bat lands down by Ron Ost to the Reds' third base coach. The Reds go on order for the 4th straight inning. Middle of the 4th, no score. Hanging in there with Randy Johnson. He's given up a couple of base hits. He struck out one. Reggie Sanders to follow Gonzalez, and then it's Mark Grace. Gonzalez in the first inning popped out to Castro to end the inning. Reese starts his windup, but Gonzalez backs away. Now the first pitch to Gonzalez, and he takes it as strike, a breaking ball. A .317 batting average and 16 home runs, 35 RBIs. Swings and fouls back into the upper deck, and it's an 0-2 count to Gonzalez. The 0-2, and just missing on the outside corner to knees. A ball, 2 strikes. Reachman with the 1-2 delivery. Swung on, and that's a little offer down the left field line. Donnie Sadler after it. Up, throwing to second, and they got him. An excellent throw by Donnie Sadler. He hustled after that ball, came up and threw Pokey Reese a strike to knock off Gonzalez. A fine play by Donnie Sadler in left field. Goes 7-4. Credit Gonzalez with a base hit, the third of the game for the Diamondbacks. But Donnie Sadler, an outstanding play. He came up and threw a absolute strike to Pokey Reese. Now here's Reggie Sanders. He takes the breaking pitch under the knees. Ball 1. Reggie grounded to Larkin is short in the second inning, leading off. Reachman to the plate. Swung on. That's chopped foul over the Arizona dugout, and it evens 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reachman delivers. Swung on, and it's grounded to Boone. And Aaron Fields, a cross to Castro, and a 2 away. Two down. Mark Gray steps in. Mark grounded to Castro in the second inning. A wind-up pitch and a strike call, a fastball. Damian Miller on deck. He owns one of the 3 hits the D-backs have had. The 0-1. Gray swings and hits a little popper in the shallow left. And Pokey Reese will make the play as Alex Ochoa got fooled on it, and he had no chance. But a good play by Pokey, and that's the inning. They get a base hit. After 4, no score. 9 strikeouts into 12 outs. It'll be Alex Ochoa to lead it off as the Reds bat in the 5th inning, and back for the action, Marty Brenneman.
Thank you, Joe. We'll pause right now for station identification on the Reds Radio Network.
The Doppler 12 forecast from Tim Hedrick, mostly clear and quiet tonight, low of 48. For Wednesday, mostly sunny and pleasant, a high 77. 63 at News Radio, 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Alex Ochoa, Aaron Boone, Ruben Rivera, the 4, 5, and 6 batters to hit off Randy Johnson here in the 5th inning. Ochoa struck out in the second. As Joe mentioned, Johnson has punched out 9 in the first 4 innings. Going to work on Ochoa. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Argosy Casino and Hotel, ranked the 4th best place in the world to strike it rich. Winner of the hottest slots in Indiana award for the 2nd year in a row. Here's Ochoa, and here's Johnson's first pitch of the 5th, and a swing and a miss. He has gone a 3-ball count to 1 batter, and that was Barry Larkin, who he struck out swinging to end the 4th inning. He works, and another swing, and this one a foul ball behind the plate. And quickly he gets in front of Ochoa, no balls and 2 strikes. We've got a special treat coming up in the 6th. Mike Basallo will be in here handling the play-by-play duties. Currently in the men's room throwing up. He'll be here in the 6th inning, and he is ready to rock and roll. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Damian Miller, and he completes a strikeout with a throw down to first base. That is 6 strikeouts in a row for Johnson. This is his sixth consecutive game of 10 or more strikeouts. And the 155th game in his major league career in which he has recorded double-digit punch-outs. Goes to work on Aaron Boone with one out. And Aaron takes it down and outside. Ball one.
Only one start this year that he didn't strike out 10, and that was the loss to St. Louis. He struck out 4 and worked how many innings in that one?
Pitch is in for a call strike, and the count evens at 1-1.
5 2/3 innings.
Well, he is rolling tonight, folks. Now, this 194 games in a row without being shut out may well be in dire jeopardy. Aaron taking low, and the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Bob Boone talked about being aggressive on the base paths. Well, the first order of business, he's talking about how to approach Randy Johnson. Being aggressive on the base paths is getting people on. Swing and a miss. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Aaron Boone. Back home on Friday night, the Reds are against Houston. We accept your emails beginning on Friday night. Email address, Marty and Joe at redsonradio.com. Thanks as always to the folks at Broadwing IT Consulting. They deliver complete IT outsourcing solutions, believe it. And you can fax us at 513-621-2255, courtesy of Modern Office Methods. For all of your business needs, just call Mom and work smarter. Pitch is just low and a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Aaron, one of 3 people to make contact in the first 4 1/3 innings, and that was on a ground ball hit down to Craig Counsell at third base in the 2nd inning. Now the payoff pitch, and it's fouled back, and Boone battling to try and get aboard here against the 3-time Cy Young Award winner, who, if you're wondering, his career high in a game in strikeouts, he has twice punched out 19 batters in a ball game. And both of them were while he was pitching in the American League. One against Oakland in '97 and the other time against the White Sox that same season. He's back with a 3-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive, left field, base hit. Well, the ball falling in front of Luis Gonzalez, and after retiring 13 batters in a row, Randy Johnson gives up the first Reds hit, and this one goes to Aaron Boone. So when he thought of a possible no-hitter, and he's had one in his major league career, and that was in the American League against the Detroit Tigers in 1990. So the Reds have a base runner in Boone, who has stolen 2 bases this season. Here's Ruben Rivera, who struck out in the 2nd. Johnson from the stretch, and a swing and a miss. Checking scores of other games brought to you by Montgomery Inn. Enjoy the world's greatest ribs wherever you are. Montgomery Inn, 1-800-USA-RIBS. Finals in the American League, Boston hammered Seattle 12-4. Cleveland wins again over Kansas City 8-4. Minnesota shut out the Yankees 2-0. Boone going, pitches a swing and a miss. Throw down to second, not in time. Stolen base number 3 for Aaron Boone. Another $200 donation to charity, courtesy of the folks at AK Steel. $7,000 is the total, and that means the Reds have now been successful in their last 20 stolen base attempts. That is the longest streak in the majors since San Diego last year closed the year out with 29 steals in a row. So if Rivera or the man who follows him, Pokey Reese, can get a base hit, the Reds could get a run in. Here's a check. Here comes Boone to third. Swung on. Smash up the middle. Base hit. Here comes Aaron Boone around third, and the Reds lead 1-0. Aaron got a great jump on Johnson, and Ruben Rivera hit a ground ball hard up the middle. He knocks in his 10th run of the season. The Reds lead 1-0, and they have now stretched the string to 195 games in a row. So the stolen base comes up large in this inning.
A fastball that Ruben was on, a little in on his hands, but got the good part of the bat on it, and Boone scores easily.
That brings up Pokey Reese, who lined hard to Jay Bell his first time up. Johnson throws over. Other scores in the ninth inning: Texas 4, Detroit 3. Tampa Bay beat Baltimore 4-3, and the White Sox shut out the Angels 2-0. In the National League, Philly beat Houston 3-2. Milwaukee gets the Cubs 4-1. Another throw over. And in the ninth inning, the Cardinals have an 8-2 lead on Pittsburgh. In the fourth, Colorado 9, the Mets 1. In the second, San Diego 1, Atlanta 0. In the second, Florida 3, Dodgers 0. Strike is called, and in the second inning, the Giants have jumped out early on Montreal 1-0. Reds have scored in the fifth. Base hit by Boone, a stolen base, and a single by Ruben Rivera. Hoagie back in the box. Rivera, 2 stolen bases so far this season, and Johnson works to first again. Johnson slowing his pace down radically now. Checks down with Damian Miller. Ruben has a lead. The pitch. Swung on and foul back. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's another smart tip from Western Southern Enterprise. Start planning early to build a secure financial future for yourself and your family. Western Southern can help. Call them at 800-936-1212. Hoagie settling back in the box. Johnson began the inning with a strikeout of Alex Ochoa. He looks to Rivera. He pitches to Reese. That stays up for a ball. Hoagie with a 5-game hitting streak, which he's looking to extend. Reese out away from the plate. Johnson wearing the number 51 on the back of his Diamondbacks jersey, rubbing up the baseball. Now he steps back on and resumes his deliberations against the Red second baseman. Rivera showing no signs of running yet. Johnson throws. They got him picked off. Mark Grace throws down, and the tag, and he's out. Well, he picked the wrong time to run. Johnson threw over. It goes 1-3-6. Randy Johnson, Mark Grace, Tony Womack, and that'll go down as a caught stealing. 1-2 now on Reese with 2 outs and the bases empty. But the Reds have the lead, 1-0 here in the 5th inning. Two balls and 2 strikes. Hoagie settling back to the box, waiting on the break-even pitch. And now time called as Pokey backs away from the plate again. Johnson, a long look down. Pitching. Staying high and away, ball 3. 10 strikeouts. He had a string of 6 in a row broken on a base hit by Boone. That was on a 3-2 pitch. Aaron stole second and came home on a base hit by Ruben Rivera. Pokey Reese swings and misses, and that's 11 of them. But a run, 2 hits, middle of the 5th. Close encounter in Arizona. Reds 1, Diamondbacks not. Cincinnati here in the bottom of the 5th inning with Damian Miller leading it off. First pitch from Reachman's up for a ball. Congratulations to Mike Fernandez of Hamilton, Ohio. He scores big tonight with Pepsi and Kroger. He was the 7th caller on the Reds' first hit. That single by Aaron Boone in the top of the inning. Pitches in for a strike in the wake of a rather impressive first 5 innings by Randy Johnson. You don't turn your back on the fine performance so far from Chris Reachma. He's given up 3 hits with a strikeout. He's behind a Miller, 2 balls and 1 strike. And he delivers, and that pitch is swung on and lined to first. Nice play by Juan Castro. He reached high above his head to pick off the liner in the bid for a base hit by Miller. That's how the Arizona fifth inning begins, and here's Tony Womack. JTM's menu favorite sausage gravy is perfect served with biscuits, omelets, country fried steak, and skillet dishes. Best of all, it's easy to prepare and tastes great. Find JTM's menu favorites in your grocer's freezer and visit jtmfoodgroup.com. Here's the pitch. That's up high for a ball. How are we looking, Studley? That's it. Pitch on the way, and that's taken 2 balls and no strikes. I got something hang over his head now. He'll get me that new pink driver. Here's the pitch, and it's taken 3 balls and no strikes. Needing a strike against Womack, and the pitch on the way, and it's on the inside corner for a strike. Trying to avoid a walk here with 1 out, with Womack at the plate and Craig Counsell coming up next. Reds lead 1-0 in the 5th inning, and Womack swings and pulls one into right field. But right back there to play it is Alex Ochoa. There are 2 men out. Don't forget, you want to stay tuned for our man Mikey Vasallo, Assistant Director of Media Relations.
Step back from the restroom.
Just got back from the men's room from throwing up. A little peeking around the gills, but he's okay.
What's it mean when your lips quiver?
When your lips quiver?
Yeah.
And they're void of color.
Yes.
That means you're scared to death.
Sometimes it mean you did just throw up.
Yes, it does. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Craig Counsell, who has one of the 3 hits the Diamondbacks have had tonight off of Chris Reitsma. He had a hit to right his first time up, leading off the 3rd. Now the 1-0 pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. 1 run, 2 hits for Cincinnati. No runs, 3 hits for Arizona. 2 outs in the inning. Trying to retire the Diamondbacks in order for the 2nd time tonight is Reitsma. And this one is foul back and will drop just off to our left. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Counsell out away from the plate. Reitsma steps back to the pitching rubber. Outfield straight away for the left-handed batting Counsell. And the wind in the pitch. And it's a swing and a ground ball pulled to first. Knocked down by Castro. He picks it up and he throws to Reitsma. And that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Mike Vasallo coming up at the end of 5. Reds 1. Diamondbacks nothing. Stinnett, the first batter up to face Randy Johnson. And with a great deal of pleasure, we bring to the microphone for the 6th inning play-by-play, Mike Vasallo. Mike.
Well, thank you very much, Marty. I certainly appreciate that introduction as always, as we head into the top of the 6th inning with the Reds leading the Diamondbacks by a score of 1-0. The Reds, on the strength of an Aaron Boone single, followed by a stolen base and an RBI broken bat single off the bat of Ruben Rivera, have the one-run lead in this game, which, quite frankly, has been brought to you by the letter K and the number 11, which signifies the amount of strikeouts by Randy Johnson, the big unit. You didn't like that one, Nuxie?
That's pretty clever there, Mike.
Sesame Street. So here's Kelly Stinnett, who was one of the 11 strikeout victims. He struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning. And he's 0 for 1. Here's Johnson. Swung on in line, foul. Down the 3rd base line, fielded by the ball boy, who looks about 45 years old, to be honest.
Let's not be just very, very careful about how you talk about middle-aged guys now.
All right. So an 0-1 count to Stinnett. Stinnett and Jason LaRue splitting the time behind the plate this year. And Kelly's done a fine job. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled straight back off the screen, and it's quickly 0-2. Stinnett coming into the game with a .281 batting average with 1 home run and 6 RBIs. Also has 2 stolen bases to his credit. Johnson looks in for the sign, and he's set. The 0-2 is high and outside, 1-2. Marty, I got to tell you, it's good to be here in Arizona, see the family, and this is quite a ballpark.
Did you spend any time out visiting your mom and the family today?
Unfortunately, they live up in Carefree, which is about 45 minutes, an hour from here. But I okay.
Don't be afraid to rent a car.
Here's the 1-2 to Stinnett. He takes high, 2-2. I did have my stepfather and my little brother and my mom on the field today. And they really enjoyed themselves. Haven't seen them since Christmas time. Here's a 2-2 to Stinnett. Popped up, foul territory. Grace and Miller give chase, and it's caught in the Reds' dugout by Pokey Reese barehanded. See that, Marty?
Nice play.
Fine play. Reached back, caught it with one hand, and then tossed it to a fan.
You know, Joe made a good point a moment ago off mic.
What's that?
Don't be afraid to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and make that 45-minute drive to visit your family.
Oh, I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I'm doing the game notes.
Is that right?
Just in case Rob's
well, I'm going to call you at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and see if you're up.
No doubt he will. Yeah. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fly to right center field. More towards right field. The right fielder, Reggie Sanders, is under it, and he makes the catch, 1 away. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Chris Rietsma. Rietsma struck out back in the 3rd inning to end the 3rd inning. Randy Johnson retiring his first 13 batters of the game. As we mentioned, before that single by Aaron Boone and the RBI single by Ruben Rivera, which has been the only damage the Reds have been able to inflict on Johnson as Rietsma takes 0-1. Rietsma been a little bit overshadowed in this game, turning in a fine performance in his own right, only allowing 3 hits through the first 5 innings as he swings and misses. Reds looking to continue their winning ways on the road. Winning 10 of their last 11 coming into this game, and Rietsma swings and misses, strike 3. So 2 away for Donnie Sadler, who struck out looking in the 1st inning and then struck out swinging in the 4th. Sadler inserted in left field for today's ball game. His 5th start of the season. He has now started at 4 different positions this season, second base, shortstop, and he shoots one through the hole at second, and Donnie Sadler has his first hit of the game. He's 1 for 3. As we mentioned, Sadler, his 5th start of the year, he started at 4 different positions, second base, shortstop, center field, and now twice in left field. And speaking of a man who can play many positions, here's Juan Castro starting today at first base. Marty, I don't know if you alluded to this earlier in the game.
Yes, we did. 8 years old.
Did you say where you got that from?
From you. And do you want me to say what I said after you told me that?
Off the air, maybe.
Now, do you...
Castro swings and misses, 0-1.
If you're Bob Boone, do you run Donnie Sadler here?
You know, why not? You got a speedy man on first base. Speedy man on first base, 2 outs. You're going to need, is that a serious question?
No, absolutely. It's a serious
I would run
question.
Sadler here. You have 2 outs here. You're going to need 2 hits to score Sadler in this situation, most likely. So why not send Sadler? You know, worst case scenario, you got Juan Castro leading off the next inning.
Exactly correct, Mikey.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
Without a doubt.
Castro, 0 for 2. Grounded back to the mound in the 1st and then swung up. And there goes Sadler. The throw is high and late, and he's in there with his 2nd stolen base of the year. So We have Booney microphone down there going with our advice.
Pardon me?
Looks like Bob's going with our advice here.
Bob had already had that scoped out. He didn't need any help from us.
I would imagine that would be the case.
We see if he'll let you manage an inning later on the year.
Stay one step at a time.
Okay.
So Sadler leads off second base. Has a good lead off second, as a matter of fact. And here's the 0-2 to Castro. Swung on and fouled along the right side near section 116, where the family is sitting tonight.
They get freebies
not
tonight?
that anybody would care. Yes, they did. Gary Wayhoff took care of that.
Very good.
And tomorrow he's going to be taking care of a very special guest of mine. I have the clubhouse quite excited. I think you know who I'm talking about.
You talking about the Honky Tonk Man?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure he's coming?
Honky called me last night. Called me in the hotel. I called him back. I got his voicemail. And we're going to work on something for tomorrow, and we'll shake, rattle, and roll.
I hear you.
Here's the 0-2. There goes Sadler again. Swung on and fly to center. Here comes Finley, a lazy fly ball. And he makes the catch. So no runs here in the 6th inning. 1 hit. And at the end of 5 1/2, it's the Reds 1 and the Diamondbacks nothing. Back here in Arizona, the Reds lead it by a score of 1-0. This is Mike Vasallo along with Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxahall right over my right shoulder. As Randy Johnson leads off for the Diamondbacks. He flew out to center field in the 3rd inning, and he takes strike 1. It'll be Randy Johnson, followed by the center fielder Steve Finley and the second baseman Jay Bell. Here's the 0-1 to Johnson. Swung on and poked up the middle for a base hit. Really didn't get good wood on that one, but it snuck between Larkin and Reese up the middle, and the Diamondbacks have their leadoff hitter aboard. That'll bring up the center fielder Steve Finley. Finley 0 for 2, flew out to left in the 1st inning and popped out to first baseman Juan Castro in the 3rd inning. Hey, while we have a chance, Marty, I want to say hello to my good friends Larry Herms, Chris Macaluso, Jamie Ramsey, and Stuart King, who are fishing as we speak, as Steve Finley takes a strike.
You talk about Larry Herms, the official spokesman of the Cincinnati Reds?
Yes. The one and only.
And Stuart King, a rising candidate for the quintessential ladies' man.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick about. How did I get eliminated from that all of a sudden?
You were not eliminated.
Oh, okay.
Joe said easy, but you weren't.
The 0-1 to Finley. Grounded. Nice play by Castro on a dive onto Larkin. They get the force at second, and that's all they get. A brilliant play by Juan Castro, who, as we said, has never played first base at the professional level. Made a diving stop towards his right. Went on to second base, got Randy Johnson in plenty of time, but you're not going to get Finley, who possesses great speed, at first. And here's Jay Bell. Jay Bell 0 for 2, grounded to second in the 1st inning and struck out swinging in the 3rd. You star that one, Marty?
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt, Mike.
So here's Jay Bell. Throw on to first. Steve Finley back in plenty of time. Taking a look at this Diamondbacks order. Talk about veteran teams. Finley, Bell, Gonzalez, Sanders, Grace, and Johnson. I'd hate to have to do the bios for that media guy.
That also translates into an old team. Susceptible to injury.
Yes, you are. You're right.
Yes, you are.
Pitch out.
I doesn't know.
Pitch out, no action on the bases, and it's 1-0 to Bell. Bell, one of the very first Diamondbacks in this franchise's history. I was actually here back in 1997 working the expansion draft when he was acquired. Former Pittsburgh Pirate and Royal. Takes strike 1, 1-1.
And Cleveland Indian.
And Cleveland Indian. Gonzalez looms on deck for the Diamondbacks, and we'll talk about him in a little bit when he steps to the plate, but he has had a sensational season thus far. There goes Finley, swung on and fouled along the right side into the crowd.
Let's pause for station identification, Mike, on the Reds Radio Network.
St. Bernard approves a city charter. Sharonville okays a fire income tax. The wife of Officer Roach speaks out. Details following the Reds. From News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
And we're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Reds leading it by a score of 1-0. Jay Bell is your batter with a 1-2 count. Steve Finley leads off of first base after reaching on the fielder's choice. Here's the 1-2 by Rietzma. Swung on and grounded down the line. That is going to be for extra bases. Sadler is over there in a hurry. What might not be for extra bases. Donnie Sadler got to that ball in a hurry, cut it off before it could roll all the way to the wall, got it back to the infield in no time, in a very quick manner, getting it back to Pokey Reese. And Jay Bell has to hold on at first. Finley advanced to third on the play. And Marty, off the bat, I thought for sure that had extra bases written all over it.
Not only that, Mike, had Pokey been aware, and he didn't because he had his back to first base, that he'd been aware of how big a turn Jay Bell had taken. They had a play on Bell at first base, but he was looking to left to take the throw from Donnie Sadler and had no idea what Bell was doing.
I'll tell you, I mean, Bell was almost more than halfway to second base. He could almost shake Pokey's hand. So here's Luis Gonzalez, who takes ball one. Luis Gonzalez, in my opinion, I don't get a vote, of course. It has to be your odds-on favorite for National League MVP thus far. I was checking the National League leaderboard, and quite frankly, this guy's got more categories than Trivial Pursuit. Leading the league in almost every offensive category as he takes ball two. Ball blocked in the dirt by Kelly Stinnett. Let me just write that down here for Rob Butcher, who has been keeping that stat since opening day. Stinnett's done a fine job this year blocking those balls in the dirt, limiting wild pitches as best he can. Gonzalez with 16 home runs leads the major leagues. His 16th came last night. It was a solo shot off of Pete Harnish. Rietzma set the 2-0. Taken high, ball three. So Rietzma struggling a little bit here in the 6th inning. Runners on first and third for the Diamondbacks, who trail by a score of 1-0. Here's the 3-0. Swung on and popped up. Pokey Reese will have a play. He's in short right field. He makes the catch as Finley bluffs a go from third base. He'll stay. Both runners stay, in fact, and there's 2 outs. Huge out there, Marty. Gonzalez swinging 3-0. I guess you can't blame first-year manager Bob Brenly with the way Gonzalez has been swinging the bat.
That's right. Top home run hitter in the big leagues, turning loose.
So that'll bring up the former Red, Reggie Sanders, who comes to the plate 0 for 2, grounded to shortstop in the 2nd inning and grounds to third in the 4th inning. Here against Chris Rietzma, who finds himself with a 1st and 3rd scenario, 2 outs in the 6th inning, facing Randy Johnson, the rookie who had not seen any action above Double-A, now finds himself facing the 3-time Cy Young Award winner, Randy Johnson, who has won the award in each of the last 2 seasons. Reggie takes way inside. Ball 1. In fact, he had the duck. Reggie Sanders spending part of his major league career in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. came over to the Reds in 1991. He was there until 1998. And he grounds it to third. Past the diving Boone and down the line. Sadler cuts it off. And Bell stops at second base. Reggie Sanders at first. And we have a tie ball game on an RBI single by Reggie Sanders. Boone gave it its best, diving to his left. Just unable to come up with it. And there's an RBI for Reggie Sanders. And that'll tie this ball game up as Mark Grace steps to the plate here against Rietzma. Grace coming to the Arizona Diamondbacks during the offseason. A long-time Chicago Cub. Very, very popular player in Chicago. Deserved all the appreciation as he grounds it to first base, picked up on a hop by Castro. He'll take it himself, and the side is retired. But the Diamondbacks tie the game on an RBI single by Reggie Sanders, and after 6 innings, it's Cincinnati 1 and Arizona 1.
700 WLW.
Scratch. The Reds and the Diamondbacks are dead even at 1-1 as Barry Larkin heads toward the plate to hit for the third time tonight off Randy Johnson. And back with a play-by-play, here's Joe.
Thank you, Marty. And the previous 2 times for Lark struck out. And see if he can get something going here in the 7th. Well, Chris Rietzma and Randy Johnson hooked up in a good one here at Phoenix tonight. 6 hits for the Diamondbacks. The Reds have had just 3. 12 strikeouts for Johnson. He works to Larkin, and Barry takes low and inside, ball 1. Larkin came into the game hitting .326 with a home run, 14 RBIs, 8 doubles. Donnie Sadler's done an excellent job defensively in left field tonight. He has saved a couple of doubles with his defensive play. The 1-0, and Larkin is swinging a miss on a high fastball. Count evens 1-1. Final of this 3-game series tomorrow night. Over the Sens will go to the post for the Reds. The 1-1, and that's strike 2 call with the knees, and Larkin, I don't think, happy with that call. Robert Ellis will start for the Diamondbacks, a right-hander. A ball, 2 strikes. Larkin back into the batter's box. Alex Ochoa on deck. Johnson delivers the 1-2, and that's a foul straight back. A 1-2 count to Barry Larkin. Reds getting a run in the 5th. The Diamondbacks, a big 2-out base hit off the bat of Reggie Sanders to tie it up, scoring Finley. Johnson again, the 1-2, and that's low and inside, a breaking pitch, and the count evens 2-2. It's not been a walk in the game by Johnson or Rietzma. Chris has struck out 1, where Johnson has struck out 12. Two balls, 2 strikes. Miller hangs the sign. And they break even. Swung on and bounced foul at the plate, a breaking pitch. $29,000 here at the ballpark tonight. Watching a fine pitching matchup through 6 innings. Larkin back into the batter's box. Randy Johnson. Again, the break even. That's taken just outside a fastball, and a full count to Larkin. Well, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Barry. Get on any way you can. Johnson with the payoff. That swung on and fouled. That looked like ball 4, but Larkin said no, too close, and he fouls it away. Into the count. Berry out of the batter's box, now back in. Johnson checking in with Miller. And again, the 3-2 delivery. And Larkin swings and misses the high fastball, and that's 13 strikeouts for Johnson, 1 away, and Alex Ochoa, the batter, he is struck out each time up. Down swinging in the second, again in the 5th, Ochoa. Aaron Boone on deck. He has scored the one Cincinnati run, had the first hit of the game for the Reds. Johnson works, and Ochoa takes, and the fastball is strike. The pitch way inside with the breaking ball, and it evens 1-1. Reds are stranded 1 base runner. The Diamondbacks 4 through 6 innings. Johnson delivers the 1-1. Ochoa swings and misses the pitch away. A 1-2 count. And he's taking his time. He winds and delivers, and Ochoa swinging foul. Just got a piece of that pitch up in his eyes. He got a piece of it and still has life. Ball, 2 strikes. Johnson rubbing up the baseball. Now steps onto the pitching rubber and checks the scoreboard. You see a 1-2 count, and the pitch. Swing and another fly, and it bounces away. Miller picks it up, throws down to Grace. 14 strikeouts for Johnson. Aaron Boone. Johnson has struck out the side once. That was the 4th inning. He had 6 straight strikeouts before Boone singled. Aaron singled, stole second, and scored on Ruben Rivera's base hit to center. 2 out, Boone at the plate. 1 for 2. He has grounded to third and singled. He looks at a pitch under the knees. Ball 1. Johnson with the 1-0. Boone looks at it, a strike on the outside corner, and it evens 1-1. Pitch, swing and a miss, fastball. That one's in Miller's mitt, and he swung at that one. A 1-2 count to Aaron Boone. Randy Johnson delivers. Boone swings and misses. He's cranking it up, that one at 98 miles an hour, and that's 15 of them. The Reds go on order, middle of the 7th. It's the Reds 1, the Diamondbacks 1. Arizona bats in the bottom of the 7th, and Leading it off, Damian Miller to be followed by Tony Womack, and then Craig Consul against Fritz Rietzma. Chris has pitched very well this evening. 6 hits for the Diamondbacks to go along with a 1 run. And ready to go to work on Miller, and his first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Miller singled in the second and then was robbed of a base hit by, or I'll take that back, grounded to short in the 5th inning, and he swings and misses a changeup from Rietzma, and an 0-2 count. Or was robbed by Castro in that 5th inning on a line drive. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony Womack on deck. Rietzma, the 1-2, and that's blowing away. And the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. A break even. Swung on and a fly ball center field. Rivera drifting back, now waiting, and he has it 1 away. A 1 down, Tony Womack steps in. He is bounced back to Rietzma, and a fly ball to right. Rietzma goes to work on Womack. And his first pitch is taken for a called strike and off-speed pitch. The 0-1. Fastball, that's inside as Womack squares to bunt. 1-1. The pitch swung on and lined foul into the seats. Wow, that hit a guy pretty hard. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup, and that's strikeout number 2 for Rietzma. And with 2 away, Craig Consul, the batter. Here's Craig Consul. He is 1 for 2, singled back in the 3rd inning. Rietzma works, Consul looks, and it's a breaking ball for a called strike. Randy Johnson on deck. No pitch. Swung on and lined foul down the left side, back into the seats. And an 0-2 count. Consul away from the plate, now back in. Chris Rietzma with the 0-2. And that's swung on and bounced off the glove. Rietzma pops it in the air and grabs it, throws to Castro, and that's the inning. They go in order, and after 7, Reds 1.
Now for the big payoff inning, sponsored by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. 4 listeners' names have been drawn at random, and the first 4 Reds batters in this inning will be batting for those listeners. Rivera will be hitting for Lisa Schuler of Cold Spring, Kentucky. Before he steps in, we'll step out for identification on the Reds radio network.
Tim Hedrick's Doppler 12 forecast. Overnight mostly clear and quiet. Patchy fog late in the valleys, a low of 48. Wednesday, sunny and pleasant, a high of 77. 59 at News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Here we go to the top of the 8th in this 1-1 game. Rivera, Reese, Stinnett. The bullpen is busy for Cincinnati. If anybody gets on base, in all likelihood, they'll be hitting for Chris Rietzma. Meanwhile, Ruben Rivera bats for Lisa Schuler of Cold Spring, Kentucky. We mentioned at the beginning of this ball game that Johnson given up 8 home runs this season, but he's not given up anything close to one. First pitch is in at the knees for a called strike. In our big payoff inning, a single gets you $10 and 2 Reds tickets, a double $25, and a couple of Reds tickets, a triple $75 and 2 Reds ducats. A home run, a trip for 2 on Delta Airlines anywhere in their domestic system, including Canada, Bermuda, Mexico, and the Caribbean. A grand slam tonight, a brand new Chrysler Plymouth. Swing and a miss. A note on the 15 strikeouts that Randy Johnson has registered tonight. That sets a Bank One Park record. That's the most strikeouts recorded by a pitcher in this facility. And I've got a feeling he's not done yet. He's got an 0-2 count on Rivera, and he struck him out swinging. He had a string earlier tonight of 6 in a row. He has now punched out 4 in a row. And you'll get Pokey Reese, who's lined out and struck out. He's batting for Mildred Delegan of Dayton, Kentucky. Here's Pokey Reese. And the pitch by Johnson is swung on and hit foul and out of play. You go back to June the 30th, 1999, in a game at Synergy Field. Randy Johnson losing a 2-0 decision to the Reds. And even in losing in that ball game, he set a club record with 17 strikeouts. He is 1 shy of that mark now. 1-0 on Reese. And Pokey takes the ball, and it didn't miss by much. Batting for Mildred Delegan of Dayton, Kentucky. To enter the big payoff inning, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Big Payoff Inning, Post Office Box 1824, Cincinnati, Ohio. The zip code is 45201. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reese. The pitch. Swung on, foul back. 16 strikeouts. He has not walked a batter. Aaron Boone, Ruben Rivera hits in the 5th inning. Donnie Sadler a base hit in the 6th. Rivera back to the batters, or rather Reese back to the batter's box as Johnson goes to the backside of the mound. A quick visit to the rosin bag, and now back on top again. He's been ahead of hitters all night long for the most part. And he's in with a 1-2 to Reese. Check swing, and it's low and inside 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Kelly Stinnett. Johnson off with a cap, mops his brow. Looks back down to Damian Miller. Now the wind, and now the break even. And strike 3 call. 17 of them. It has been some kind of performance by Randy Johnson. And now he goes to work on Kelly Stinnett, who has struck out and fly to right. And Kelly batting for Shirley Popple of Hamilton, Ohio. Here's his pitch. That's taken low and away a ball. So 17 punch-outs against the Reds and a loss in Cincinnati 2 years ago. 17 strikeouts tonight in a 1-1 game against the Reds. Stinnett bounces foul over top of the Diamondbacks dugout. It's a ball, a strike. And Kerry Wood 2 years ago punched out 20 Houston Astros on a very cold, blustery day at Wrigley Field in the first month of the season. Randy Johnson sitting on 17 right now. And, of course, with 4 outs remaining in regulation. 1 ball, 1 strike. struck out the side in the 4th, struck out the side in the 7th, and a swing and a miss, and attempting to do it here in the 8th. So that batting for Shirley Popple of Hamilton, Ohio. Now they come to their feet. Here at Bank One Ballpark, his former teammate, Stinnett, staring out toward the mound, the kick and the pitch. He struck him out swinging. That's 18 of them. And he has struck out the side for the 2nd straight inning. And for the 2nd time tonight, he has punched out 6 in a row. In the middle of the 8th, 1-1 ball game. On Saturday, and you can get a free red CD car visor from Chevy. Free to the first 10,000 fans 16 and older. The CD visor holds over a dozen of your favorite CDs and is conveniently stored on your car visor for easy access. Get to Synergy early to see the Reds and Stros 7:05 game and get this fabulous CD car visor from Chevy. Get tickets for the May 12th game and all Reds games at CincinnatiReds.com, the Dugout Shop, the Reds ticket window, 381 Reds, or anytickets.com outlet. Randy Johnson, first pitch inning. Fly ball center. 1 pitch, 1 out as Ruben Rivera gathers it in. Here's Steve Finley, 0 for 3, and has scored the only Arizona run. After reaching on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning, he came home on a base hit by Reggie Sanders. This may well be the final inning of work for Chris Reitsma. He is due to lead off the night. Nobody going anywhere here at Bank One Park. Randy Johnson with 18 strikeouts through 8 innings. And a strike at the knees to Steve Finley. Reitsma back to the plate, and Finley taking high a ball. The Reds on Radio website is up and running again. For insight into our broadcasts, dial up RedsOnRadio.com, courtesy of OneNet Communications, Cincinnati's premier next-generation communications company. The pitch, high, ball 2. Go with the pros. Call OneNet tomorrow. OneNet is a U.S. net company. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Reds scored in the 5th. The Diamondbacks in the 6th. They've out-hit the Reds 6-3. Swing and a miss on a good changeup. Randy Johnson has thrown 110 pitches. He'll take that number into the ninth. Reitsma getting ready to throw his 100th pitch. And it's in the air, left side, behind third, going down the line and making the catch in fair territory is Aaron Boone for the 2nd out. Here's Jay Bell, 1 for 3. In the ninth, the Reds have the 9 spot to lead it off, followed by Donnie Sadler and Juan Castro. 29,817 showed up for tonight's Titanic struggle. 29,817, and they've seen a memorable pitching performance. And another one that has been outstanding in his own way, authored by Chris Reitsma. 1 ball and no strikes on Jay Bell. Pitch. That's a strike. The old high strike, bringing the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Bell waving the bat around as Reitsma sends this next pitch in, and that's the ball, 2-1. Reds bullpen was busy, and while the Reds were batting in the top of the 8th, anticipation of possibly somebody getting on that would result in Reitsma being hit for. That did not happen, but the bullpen staying busy. And Bell takes a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And boy, that ball looked real high. 2-2 the count on Bell. On deck, Luis Gonzalez. And the 2-2 coming to Jay Bell, and it's in the air. Right center field. Deep. Chasing is Rivera. Can't get it. And the ball bounces out on a hop. That's a ground rule double. Well, Bob Boone may be forced now to make a change. With a left-handed batting Gonzalez coming up. Jay Bell on a 2-2 pitch doubles to deep right center field. Reachma looking in the general direction of the Reds dugout as he stands out behind the mound. Boone with 1 foot on the step. Got a left-hander, Mercado or Reyes, ready in the bullpen. And Gonzalez stepping in. See what they do with him with a right-handed batting Reggie Sanders. They're going to walk in with first base open. The first base on balls allowed tonight. And this is an intentional walk. So Reggie Sanders, who knocked in the only run so far for Arizona with that smash down the line that shot by Aaron Boone in the 6th inning to tie the game, is going to be back up there with a chance to put the Diamondbacks in front. There's ball 4 to Gonzalez. So a 2-out threat being posed by the men of Bob Brentley, and here's Sanders. Reggie has bounced to short, grounded to third, single to knock in his 23rd run of the season. Bell at second, Gonzalez at first, 2 away. Two teams tied at 1-1 in the 8th. The stretch and the pitch, and it's up and in, ball 1. Reachman trying to dodge a 2-out bullet after he got the first 2 batters on a fly ball and a pop-up. Bell doubles, forcing the intentional walk to Gonzalez. They lead, and a 1-0 on the way to Sanders. And that's a swing and a miss. High change, and the count's a ball, a strike. One thing he's had tonight, a good changeup that seemingly deserted him the last 2 times out. Outfield slightly around toward left, not much, but just a bit, playing Sanders to pull the ball. And now Pokey breaking in toward the bag at second base. Sanders, distracted by the movement, backs away from the plate. Bell leading at second. Gonzalez over at first base, 2 out. And the 1-1 pitch after the long check by Reachma. And that one taken, and it gets through Stinnett. And the runners will advance. That'll be a wild pitch against the Reds' rookie right-hander.
Well, it was a breaking ball, and Kelly, I think, would tell you that he should block this ball. And you see, he was late dropping down on the ball, and that shouldn't have happened.
So the plot thickens a little bit, and now Don Gullett, the Reds pitching coach, heading out to the mound to hold a mini convention. Everybody on the infield will crowd around the pitching coach and his student. With the way this ball game has gone, and with a dominant performance that through 8 innings Randy Johnson has entertained this crowd with, base hit right now, and you might as well take it to the house. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Gullett doesn't take long to impart whatever wisdom he felt was necessary on the chosen few. Reggie Sanders back in the box with Diamondbacks runners now at second and third. Reachma from the stretch into the plate, and a fly ball center field. That's going to get him to the dugout as Rivera makes a catch. 1 hit, 2 left. After 8, they stay tied at 1. 7 Hotel and the Reds advance ticket window. Pepsi Teen Night is Friday, May 11th. Get your tickets now. Deion Sanders will be coming off the bench to pinch hit for Chris Reachma. Randy Johnson, 18 punch-outs, 6 in a row. Sanders steps in, batting .273 and coming off of a 2-hit performance in last night's opener. And also had a stolen base and scored a run. Let's see if by hook or by crook, Deion can't figure out a way to get on base here and really cause Johnson and the Diamondbacks defense some problems. They're pulled in at the corners, Mark Grace and Craig Counsell. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled off third. Now to play. Strike one. Reds on Radio brought to you in part by UDF. Stop by United Dairy Farmers for your favorite hand-dipped ice cream cone or thick cold malt or shake. United Dairy Farmers, a dairy store that's at your convenience. One strike on Deion Sanders. Johnson bringing it. And there's strike two call. He ran up as if to bunt on a breaking ball. So he finds himself behind the 8-ball right now. Donnie Sadler on deck, and then Juan Castro. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 19 and 7 in a row. The 19 strikeouts, and we made reference to it earlier tonight, equals Johnson's career best. Both times previously, he did it against American League ball clubs. And now with one out, here's Donnie Sadler, who's 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. Seven strikeouts in a row. He got Larkin, Ochoa, and Boone in the 7th. Rivera, Reese, and Stinnett in the 8th. He's fanned Dion here in the 9th. And he's 1 ball and 1 strike on Sadler. This has been about as good as I've ever seen. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball in the hole. Backhanded by Womack. He throws, and he got him. Nice play by Tony Womack. He knew who was running. Sadler can get down the line. He had to unload in a hurry. He did, and Sadler's out.
Strikeout at Deion Sanders had such a ground out. Johnson has broken his own club record for consecutive strikeouts in the game with 7.
Johnson has also broken his own consecutive strikeout record in a game with 7. That ground out by Sadler broke it. Broke the string, and here's Castro 0 for 3. Ball 1. Bottom of the 9th for the Diamondbacks. Mark Grace, Damian Miller, Tony Womack. That's in for a strike. This is a great breaking ball tonight, boy. And the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men out. Last Reds base runner, Sadler, with a single in the 6th inning. Swing and a foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes, sitting on 19 strikeouts. They come to their feet. Castro away from the plate, making adjustments on his batting gloves.
I don't think there's a person's left this ballpark.
Jerry Colangelo, the owner of the Diamondbacks, club box by the Arizona dugout, standing along with just about everybody else here in this facility. 19 strikeouts, 2 outs, 1-1, top of the 9th, bases empty. The wind, the pitch, and he misses up and away a ball. 120 pitches and has not lost 1 inch of velocity. That a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He just missed with up and away. Even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller sends out the sign. Johnson sends in the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 20 strikeouts for Randy Johnson. They give him a standing O here in downtown Phoenix, and why not? 20 punch-outs. He acknowledges the crowd with a tip of his cap as he walks into the third base dugout. And in the middle of the 9th inning, as Johnson ties the National League record for strikeouts in a game, the Reds won, the Diamondbacks won.
New from United Dairy Farmers, homemade brand classics premium ice cream bars. Enjoy the same exceptional quality.
Performance by Chris Reitsma. And for Reyes, this will be his 17th outing, a win, 2 losses, a 260 earned run average. 17 innings, he's allowed 8 base hits, has struck out 20 and walked 10. He'll face Mark Grace as the Diamondbacks bat in the 9th. Reyes is ready. Here's Marty.
All right, Mark Grace leading it off. And the first pitch from Reyes is in for a strike. Couple of notes on what Randy Johnson has accomplished tonight. He has also tied the major league record for most strikeouts in a 9-inning ball game. Here's a swing and a bouncer hit to third, fielded by Aaron Boone, and he throws him out. Roger Clemens twice has punched out 20 in a 9-inning game. The all-time record, 21 strikeouts in an extra inning game. And that was done by a fellow that I'm sure a lot of people listening tonight have never heard of, Tom Chaney with the Washington Senators on September the 12th, 1962.
That was in the 16-inning ball game.
We got a few more innings to play before that.
Tom Chaney had an excellent curveball, as we like to describe it, a downer. I mean, that thing fell off the table and threw the ball,
not
90,
bad.
Somewhere in there.
1 ball and no strikes, a count on Damian Miller, who is single line to first and fly to center. There's a pitcher warming up in the Arizona bullpen. Who knows whether Randy Johnson will come back or not. Swing and a miss. Looks like the youngster who throws down under, B.K. Kim, warming up in the Arizona bullpen. 1-1 the score here in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Miller followed by Tony Womack. And that pitch is in the dirt, a ball, 2-1. Joe mentioned outstanding performance tonight by Chris Reitsma. On any other night, he would be the headliner. But not tonight. Not with what Randy Johnson has accomplished in 9 innings of pitching. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And did he check his swing in time? He went. That puts it at 2-2. Johnson appears like he's going to go back out there. He's relaxing in the dugout. I think the only thing that would keep him is if they get people on base to bring up that number 9 spot in the order. There's ball 3. Fans got your Reds home run ball into the special Red Zone section in right field at Synergy, and you can win season tickets for next year. All from Old Spice High Endurance Red Zone. Nothing stronger for wetness protection than Red Zone. Reyes with a 3-2 pitch, and he struck him out swinging. Here's Tony Womack, but no, he's going to be called back. And Greg Colburn will be sent to the plate to pinch hit. Bob Brentley obviously looking for one big swing of the bat here that would send everybody home happy except those sitting in the first base dugout. Checking scores of other games brought to you by the Newport Aquarium. Immerse yourself at the Newport Aquarium across the river from downtown Cincinnati. For packages and hotel reservations, call 1-800-STAY-NKY. Phillies over the Astros 3-2. Milwaukee beat the Cubs 4-1. Cardinals pummel Pittsburgh 8-2. Colorado whips up on the Mets 11-4. That game is in the 8th inning in Denver. Colburn pulls it foul at third. In the 7th, San Diego over Atlanta 4-1. Florida leading in Dodger Stadium in the 6th, 6-2. And in the 5th inning, it's the Giants 8, Montreal 1. The American League has closed up shop and gone to bed for the night. Reyes with a pitch and Colburn taking inside. Boston 12, Seattle 4. Cleveland beat Kansas City 8-4. Detroit edged Texas 5-4. Minnesota shut out the Yankees 2-0. Oakland over Toronto 8-5. Tampa Bay 4, Baltimore 3. The pitch missing. 2-1. And the White Sox blanked Anaheim 2-0. 1-1 score here in Phoenix. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Greg Colburn pinch hitting for Tony Womack, and he swings and he misses. Reyes standing back behind the mound, now coming back on top. He was excellent in the 2 innings in which he worked here last night. Retired 6 in a row with a strikeout. And he misses upstairs to run the count to 3-2. Grace is grounded to third. Damian Miller is struck out. And he struck out on a 3-2 pitch. That's where Reyes is right now as he unloads to Colburn, and he struck him out looking on the inside corner. And for the second time in as many nights, these two ball clubs will go to extra innings. At the end of 9, Cincinnati and Arizona locked up at 1-1 on the Reds Radio Network.
Tim Hedrick's Doppler 12 forecast overnight mostly clear and quiet. Patchy fog late in the valleys, a low of 48. Wednesday, sunny and pleasant, a high of 77. 59 at News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
We're in the 10th inning for the second night in a row. Right-hander B.K. Kim comes on to face Barry Larkin, and back with a play, here's Joe.
Thank you, Marty. And Barry is 0 for 3. He struck out all 3 times to the plate and fouls Kim's first pitch. B.K. Kim 2-1 on the year with a 442 earned run average. This is his 16th appearance. 18 innings, 10 hits, 11 walks, 24 strikeouts. What an outstanding outing for Randy Johnson and Chris Rietzman. Of course, Randy tied a National League or baseball record in strikeouts with 20. He threw 124 pitches, 92 strikes, and 32 balls. That is a day's work, folks. Larkin looks at a called strike, and it's an 0-2 count. Kim sidearms it in there and is low and outside. A lot of times Kim almost shows from down under. A ball, 2 strikes. A 1-1 ball game. The Reds winning last night in 10. 5-4. The pitch. Check swing on a breaking ball, and it's even at 2-2. Third extra inning game for the Reds. They're 1-1. Here's the break even, and Larkin swings and fouls. For the Diamondbacks, they're playing their third extra inning game. They're 0-2. The pitch. That's thrown inside in a full count. Those strikeouts against the Reds, and it has to do with a 19-inning game with the L.A. Dodgers. It's 22, the pitch. Check swing, and it's ball 4, and the leadoff walk goes to Barry Larkin. First walk issued by Diamondback pitching, and the batter is Alex Ochoa. In that game, Tommy John struck out 13, Jim Brewer struck out 6, Ron Peronoski struck out 2, and Pete Rickard struck out 1. And in an individual game, Don Wilson struck out 18. And the second game of a doubleheader for Houston, that was in 1968. Kerry Wood struck out 16 in 1998 for the Cubs against the Reds. There's 18 altogether. Bunt attempt by Ochoa is fouled. And Rod Beck struck out 2. That's a 9-inning game. 0-1 to Alex Ochoa with Larkin at first base. It's a 1-1 ball game in the 10th. The Reds have stranded just 1 base runner in the first 9 innings. The Diamondbacks have stranded 6. Kim delivers, and it's bunted. Goodwin, first base side. Up with the ball is Grace. He underhands to Bell, covering at second base, and Larkin at second with 1 out for Aaron Boone. But at Ochoa with a sacrifice, it goes 3-4. Aaron is 1 for 3 and has scored the 1 Cincinnati run. hitter for Barry Larkin. And it looks like Michael Tucker will go to second to run for Larkin. And now, Bob Welsh, the pitching coach, will go to the mound to have a meeting with B.K. Kim and Damian Miller, and also Craig Consul, the shortstop, is there. He has moved to shortstop, and Coleman stays in the game at third base. Plate umpire Barksdale out to break up the meeting, and just as he arrives, Welsh heads back to the dugout. A 1-1 game, and the Reds trying to jump in front here in the 10th, as they did last night. A triple by Ochoa, a double by Casey last night to provide the winning run. Kim sets, he delivers, and he misses outside, ball one. Randy Johnson, outstanding tonight. 20 strikeouts in 9 innings. B.K. Kim with the 1-0 to Boone. And now he steps back off the pitching rubber. Tucker at second base, running for Barry Larkin. Barry walked leading off the inning. Ochoa sacrificed him to second. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is outside. It's a 2-0 count. Got a lefty and a righty throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Greg Swindell looks like the left-hander, and the right-hander we can't tell. 2 balls, no strikes. Kim delivers. Check swing, and it's ball 3 on the breaking ball. Ruben Rivera on deck. Of course, Boone, Bob has got Sean Casey in the dugout. He's got Dimitri Young in the dugout. Here's a 3-0. And that's taken a called strike at the knees. Brett Prinz is the right-hander, along with Greg Swindell in the Diamondback bullpen. 3-1 to count to Boone. Kim to the belt and will bluff back to second. No throw. And keeping a close eye on Michael Tucker. Jay Bell 10-12 feet away from the bag, holding Michael close. Kim the stretch. He delivers, and Boone takes ball 4 outside. And let's see. Ruben Rivera will be taken down, and looks like Sean Casey will go to the plate to hit for him. And we'll probably see Bob Brindley make a move also. Let's see who pops out of the Reds dugout. No one to this moment. And now we see Casey appears to be tying his shoes and looking for a bat. He has it in his helmet. And he heads to the on-deck circle as Melvin and Jay Bell are talking with B.K. Kim, but let's see what Bob does with the left-hander coming up. And it'll be Pokey Reese. Well, here comes Brindley, and let's see if he decides to make a pitching change. And he will. He points to the bullpen, and we'll have a break in the action here in Arizona. It's a 1-1 ball game in the 10th. The Reds with runners at first and second, and 1 out. Sean Casey provided the winning RBI last night, and let's see if he can do it again tonight. The break in the action will return after these 0-1 with a .327 earned run average. 11 innings, 8 hits. He has struck out 7 and walked 1. And he will face Sean Casey. Sean, of course, leads the Reds in hitting. He leads in RBIs with 30. He has 6 home runs. That leads the ball club. Son has 9 doubles. That leads the club. He'd like to make it 31 ribbies right here. It's Tucker at second base. Boone at first with 1 out. And a 1-1 game. Swindell ready to go to work. He delivers, and Casey looks at a pitch under the knees, ball 1. Okie Reese on deck. Swindell with the 1-0. That misses low and outside, and a 2-0 count to Sean Casey. $29,000 tonight, and very few have left the old ball orchard. The count to Casey. Swindell, check of the runners, delivers. Swung on and fouled. Straight back, fastball, and it's a 2-1 count to Sean Casey. Casey, a step away now, settles back in. Damian Miller hangs the sign. Swindell the stretch. 2-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled. That one into the seats off to the left, and the count evens 2-2. Outfield straight away to Casey. Sanders in right, Finley in center, Gonzalez in left. Swindell waiting on the sign. Now the stretch. He delivers the 2-2. The runners go. The pitch is swung on and fouled, and Tucker had third stolen. Well, it stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, Casey has to take a hack if it's a good pitch. But Tucker had a great jump. Boone off the bag at first. Tucker leads at second. Swindell again sets. And now the bluff back to second. No throw. A 1-1 game. The Reds scored in the 5th. The Diamondbacks in the 6th. That's it. Miller flashes a sign. Swindell sets. He delivers the 2-2, and Casey swings and again fouls on a play to the left. Swindell started off 2-0 to Casey, and then got it to 2-2, and now Sean has fouled off 3 straight. Swindell again, the 2-2 delivery. And once again, a bluff back to second. Swindell taking his time, and the stretch. The 2-2, and Sean swings and hits a little looper that is going to be foul. Wow, just foul down the left field line, and Holmgren came very close to making a nice play on it. But it's a strike, and it stays 2-2. with 30 RBIs on the year. John has had a sacrifice fly as a pinch hitter to drive in a run. Two balls, two strikes. Pokey Reese waiting on deck. Swindell sets. He delivers, and that's swung on and looped into left field. That ball will be caught by Gonzalez. Well, 2 away, and Pokey Reese the batter. Let's see what Bob Brentley will do here. He's standing on the steps, and will he bring on the right-hander to face Reese? You got Kelly Stinnett. And a switch hitter in the Reds dugout, and that would be Dimitri Young. And here goes Brentley to the mound. He'll go for the right-hander now to face Pokey Reese. So another break in the action here at Arizona. Will return after these words. He's actually taking over as the closer for the Diamondbacks with Matt Ty on the DL. Friends in 5 appearances has not given up a run. He's worked 5 in the 3rd innings, allowing 3 hits. Has struck out 3 and walked 1. So he will face Pokey Reese with 2 out. Michael Tucker at second. Red Boone at first. A 1-1 ball game. Friends the stretch and the pitch, and Reese takes outside, ball 1. Kelly Stinnett on deck. Friends waiting on the side and the stretch. The pitch to Pine. It's a 2-0 count. No strikes. Friends with the 2-0. And that's taken a strike through the heart of the plate. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. A 1-1 game here in the 10th. Friends delivers, and Reese swings and sends it foul down the right side and into the seats. The count evens 2-2. Pokey out of the batter's box now. Step back in. Friends ready. The 2-2 delivery. Pokey has skin, fouls it away. Reese tonight 0 for 3. Pokey with a home run, 10 RBIs, and would love to make it 11 right here, at least. Friends again sets. And the pitch, that's way outside. A good save by Damian Miller. He caught that ball behind him, reaching across his body. And a full count now to Pokey, so Tucker and Boone will be on the move. Friends ready with a payoff. He delivers. That's high and inside. The bases are loaded for Kelly Stinnett. Well, 3 walks here in the inning have loaded the bases. Kim walked 2, and now Friends has walked Reese to load him up. Dennis Reyes moves to the on-deck circle. The pitch to Stinnett. He looks at a strike. Spencer at third. Boone at second. Reese at first. The 0-1 to Stinnett. And that's low and outside. A ball, a strike. It's their third extra inning game, and back-to-back here in Phoenix. 1-1 to Stinnett. Kelly takes it. Ball 2, low and away. Oh, 2-1 count. Take him any way you can get him. 2 balls, 1 strike. Base is loaded. Prince ready and delivers. Swung on, fly ball, center field, drifting back Finley. He's waiting on it and has it. That's the inning. Well, the Reds strand 3 in the middle of the 10th. It stays Reds 1, Diamondbacks 1. From first base to shortstop, and Sean Casey stays in the game at first base. Well, Dennis Reyes retired him in order. Tucker stays in the game, and he's in center field. Dennis Reyes retired him in order in the 9th inning with a couple of strikeouts. He'll face Craig Counsell leading it off here in the 10th for the Diamondbacks. No activity in the Arizona bullpen now. We'll get a pitcher up and throwing. First pitch is bunted at by Counsell and fouled. Friends on deck. Oh, 1 to Craig Counsell. He is 0 for 4 scored. They won. Arizona run. Reyes delivers, and strike 2 call on the inside corner, and a 0-2 count to Craig Counsell. Reyes, the stretch in the pitch. Swung on, and that's bounced to first. Casey has it, takes it to the bag, and there's 1 away. A 1 down. Prince will be taken down, and Danny Bautista will go to the plate to hit for Prince. Bautista, a .263 batting average, 3 for 10 as a pinch hitter. He has driven in 5 and owns a triple. Right-handed batter. And now Bob Boone will go to Barksdale, the plate umpire, and looks like we're going to have a change as Jason LaRue comes in from the bullpen to go behind the plate, and John Ridley will come on to face Bautista. So a break in the action here in Arizona. We're tied up 1-1. We'll return after these words. On the mound, and he'll be throwing to Jason LaRue, who goes behind the plate for Ridley. This will be his 17th appearance, 0-1 with a .312 earned run average, 17 innings, 11 hits, 7 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Durazo will now hit for Bautista. This guy has hit 4 pinch hit home runs this year. Durazo, a .344 batting average, 7 for 10 as a pinch hitter with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. As a pinch hitter, I said. Durazo makes his way to the plate with 1 out. Steve Finley on deck. I wonder about this, don't you? Another left-handed batter. Weasel settles in. A left-handed batter, a big, strong young man. John Reedling goes to work on him, and the first pitch is taken under the knees, ball one. Well, Reyes works an inning in the third, retires the 4 batters he faces with a couple of strikeouts. Reeling ready, and the 1-0 swung on and chopped over the mound. Pokey charging, fields, throws, and got him. Nice play by Pokey Reese. So 2 away, and Steve Finley the batter. Finley is 0 for 4 and has scored the 1 Diamondback run. Jay Bell on deck. Reedling delivers, and Finley looks at a strike on the outside corner. 3 hits for the Reds, 7 for the Diamondbacks. Reading the 0-1, Finley takes it outside. And a 1-1 count. LaRue hangs the sign. And Reeling the 1-1. Finley bounces a foul off to the right. And a ball, 2 strikes, the count to Steve Finley. The 1-2. That bounces 4 feet in front of the plate. And it evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. You just tuned us in. Randy Johnson ties a major league record for 9 innings of strikeouts with 20 tonight. Reedling delivers the break even, and Finley swings and misses a pitch at the knees, and that's the inning. They go in order, and after 10, it stays Reds 1, Diamondbacks. Les Springer becomes the 5th pitcher used by Bob Brenly tonight. And for Springer, this will be his 14th appearance, his .724 earned run average. 13 2/3 innings, he has allowed 15 hits, has struck out 8 and walked a couple. He'll face Jason LaRue leading it off here in the 11th inning, and back with the action, Marty Brenneman.
Thank you, Joe. Jason LaRue, of course, batting for the first time tonight. He was part of the double switch in the last inning. So the Reds are down to Dimitri Young. That's what they have left on their bench, while the Diamondbacks still have 3 bats available. Russ Springer going to work, and the pitch is high for a ball. Reds have not had a hit since a single by Donnie Sadler in the 6th inning. They left the bases loaded, all runners reaching via the walk route in the 10th. And the stretch in the 1-0 pitch. That's a foul ball back. One ball and 1 strike. Diamondbacks have Rod Barajas, David DeLucci, and Matt Williams still available. Dimitri Young is it for Cincinnati. And the 1-1 pitch by Springer, and that one is taken high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fans, you can count on Kroger for fast checkout. All check lanes are open 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Kroger, you can count on us. A good one here at Bank One Park in Phoenix. Jason LaRue leading off the 11th, and he pops it up. Ball coming back toward the seats, and it's out of play. One of those who owns the hit for the Reds waiting in the on-deck circle, and Donnie Sadler. Leroy Brohan, a left-hander, was throwing alongside Russ Springer. But he's no longer throwing in the Arizona bullpen. 2-2 pitch. That's ball 3. Russ Springer, a veteran in every sense of the word. He originally came up in the Yankee organization, has also pitched with the Angels, the Phillies, the Astros, the Diamondbacks 3 years ago, then Atlanta, and came back to the Diamondbacks last season. Swung on and fouled back. Jason LaRue batting .300 with 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Trying to be a leadoff base runner in the 11th inning. The Reds scored a run in the 5th. Diamondbacks tied it up in the 6th inning. 3-2 pitch again. Springer to LaRue. Here it comes. And he walked him. So Jason begins the 11th and heads to first base. Donnie Sadler will now try and, you would suspect, get a bunt down, but with LaRue running, although he runs better than most catchers do, still he's a catcher. Oftentimes in a situation like this, it takes an almost perfect bunt or possibly starting the runner in the sacrificing situation. So we'll see how Bob Boone plays it. And Sadler squares and takes a strike. He was flinching on that pitch. Donnie struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 4th, singled and stole a base in the 6th inning, and bounced to shortstop in the 9th. Stretch by Russ Springer as LaRue leads, and there's a throw over. Jason back to the bag. Greg Colburn over at third base after he pinch hit in the 9th inning. Remained in the game to play third with Counsell moving over to shortstop. Another throw to first base. Juan Castro on deck. We're in the top of the 11th. Cincinnati trying to make it back-to-back wins in this series with a final game here tomorrow night. Springer checks in with Damian Miller. Now he straightens up and delivers, and Sadler bunts and picked up by the pitcher. A good one. And he threw it away. He threw it down the right field line. Russ Springer did, and the runners will end up at second and third. How about that? He did not even come close to first base. And the Reds are in big-time business now in the 11th inning on a throwing error by pitcher Russ Springer. Wow.
Well, that's one of those plays that looked like he just was, in a sense, going to nonchalant it over to Mark Grace and or to Jay Bell, and missed him by a whole bunch. So a break.
So second and third, nobody out. Credit Donnie Sadler with a sacrifice. Charge a throw on Russ Springer, and now here's Castro, and he'll be batting against a drawn-in infield. Juan is 0 for 4. Bounce out, strike out, fly out, and strike out again. And the stretch in the pitch, and they pitch out thinking the Reds might be putting a play on. Not that pitch, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. The first mistake of the night. And the Reds are trying to parlay that into an 11th inning lead. LaRue at third, Sadler at second base, nobody out. And the 1-0 pitch, and that one's taken high. 2 balls and no strikes. Michael Tucker waiting on deck. Springer not able to throw a strike after the pitch out. Went for ball 1. He missed badly with a second pitch. Castro waving the bat around as the runners lead at second and third. And they pitch out again, but nothing going on. And the count's 3 balls and no strikes. We will probably see Bob Brenly make another pitching change. He's got the left-hander up in his bullpen again, with Michael Tucker coming up. And Castro a pitch away from getting a walk that would load the bases with none out. Springer with a look in the pitch. And there's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. For the second consecutive inning, the Reds have loaded the bases, and here comes Brenly, and he signals for the lefty. LaRue at third, Sadler at second, Castro at first, nobody out. Major 11th inning threat being posed by Bob Boone's Reds, and with a pitching change, we'll return in a moment.
His ninth appearance, a .559 earned run average, 9 2/3 innings. He has allowed 8 hits. Has struck out 4 while walking 5, and he'll face Michael Tucker. Michael up for the first time in the game. He came into the game as a pinch runner for Barry Larkin in the last inning. Tucker, a .318 batting average, a home run, 11 RBIs, 8 doubles, and a triple. The bases are loaded. You got Castro at first base, you got Sadler at second base, and you got LaRue at third with nobody out. So a big opportunity for the Reds here in the 11th inning. Brohan is ready, and here's Marty.
All right. Michael Tucker trying to get his club to lead for the second time tonight. Troy Brohan, 28-year-old, makes his home in Wolford, Maryland. Left-hander versus left-hand batter. Infield drawn in, outfield straight away. And the pitch on the way, and Tucker takes ball 1. It gets away from the catcher, rolling over to the Reds on-deck circle, but nobody will attempt to advance. Brohan's been around a bit. He was signed originally by the Giants after being a 4th-round pick in the June free agent draft of 1994. Was on the disabled list in 95. Was acquired in 98 by the Diamondbacks. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. On the disabled list last year from April the 24th through the end of the season with a ruptured medial collateral ligament in his left elbow. That was in 99. And then disabled list from April the 6th through July the 31st for surgery rehab last year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Tucker at the plate. And they try to suicide squeeze, and he bunts it foul. Jason LaRue was coming like gangbusters down the third baseline, and Tucker could not get it down in fair territory. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And Brohan will probably face just Tucker. Miguel Batista, a right-hander, is getting ready for Alex Ochoa after we find out what Tucker does. First, second, and third, none out. The Reds left him loaded in the 10th inning. Brohan sights a sign. The come down and the pitch. And a swing and a foul. Loud foul up into the second deck down the right field line. Last night it was 5-4 Cincinnati in 10 innings. Reds have been a good ball club so far in 1-run games, 6-3. The Diamondbacks are 5-5. Tucker cranking that bat around. Brohan ready to go to work again. Back he comes to the plate, and Michael takes strike 3. So Troy Brohan does his job. Striking out Michael Tucker looking, and you got to feel like Brenly's going to come back and bring Batista on to face Alex Ochoa. Brohan standing out behind the mound, and, well, it looks like they're going to stick with Brohan to face Ochoa. Alex has struck out 3 times. He's also gotten a sacrifice bunt down. So Miguel Batista ready in the bullpen, but Bob Brenly rolling the dice here after Brohan gets a big strikeout against Michael Tucker. And his first pitch to Ochoa is taken for a strike. I'll tell you what, you can't score in this situation. You don't deserve to win the ball game. 1 strike and nothing on Ochoa. LaRue led the inning off with a walk. Sadler got the bunt down. Springer, the pitcher, threw it away. Second and third, Castro walk. Brohan comes on to strike out Tucker. And here's a high, deep drive hit back into deep left center field. That ball will be caught at the warning track. Tagging and scoring is Jason LaRue. Here comes Sadler being waved around, and he's in there. How about that? A two-run sacrifice fly, and the Reds lead it 3-1 here in the 11th inning.
Ron Oster had him coming all the way. I mean, he had that left arm working hard, and Donnie Sadler with that good speed. Just a little hesitation by Craig Counsell, and he's there.
So credit Michael Tucker with 2 RBIs on the sacrifice fly to the warning track in left center. The Reds up 2 here in the 11th inning. And the batter will be Aaron Boone. Juan Castro moves to second base, and Boone takes ball 1. Two RBIs for Alex Ochoa.
When's the last time you saw that?
I can't remember. I've been thinking. I can't remember. Here's a fly ball to left field. Gonzalez is waiting on it. The inning is over, but 2 runs on no hits. 1 error, 1 left. And in the middle of the 11th, Cincinnati leads Arizona 3-1. The Reds play the Cardinals, the Rockies, the Cubs, the Indians, the Braves, and Giants. And for each 2 summer 6-packs you purchase, you'll also receive a $10 gift certificate redeemable for official Reds merchandise at Synergy Field or the Reds Dugout Shop. Get your family and friends together and order your summer 6-packs now. Call the Reds Group Sales Department at 513-421-4510, extension 4350. Danny Graves is on to try and close the door. Reds have a 3-1 lead with the D-backs coming to back here in the 11th inning, and it'll be Jay Bell and Luis Gonzalez and Reggie Sanders. Danny, of course, was the winning pitcher in last night's game. Tonight he tries to save it for John Riedling. Jay Bell has had a couple of hits among the 7 that Arizona's collected against Reds pitching. And his first pitch of the 11th is in there for a called strike. Bell half-heartedly showed a bunt. Took the bat away. It stands right now. Riedling would win it and Springer would lose it. That's a ball. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. On a night that saw Randy Johnson strike out 20 batters. There's ball 2. The Reds were able to get a run home relatively early in the 5th inning. The Diamondbacks had to come back and tie it up with a run in the 6th inning, and nothing happened until the top of this 11th. 2 balls and 1 strike, and that's a swing and a foul to right. Now to play. You got to go back a ways, I would think, to find the last time a Reds player had a 2-run sacrifice fly. The speed of Donnie Sadler, and I'll tell you what, that young man has done quite a job tonight. He's made some fine plays in left field. Here's a line drive, base hit. Over second into right center field. That's how the 11th inning begins for Arizona. And now they've got the tie-and run coming to the plate in Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 1 for 3 with an intentional walk. It's kind of interesting, after last night's game, Danny Graves, who was brought on in the 9th inning to face Gonzalez, and he said he had it all planned how he wanted to pitch to him, and then got the word that he was going to intentionally walk him. Here's a base hit into left field. So here come the Diamondbacks. They greet Graves with back-to-back hits in the 11th inning. Reggie Sanders will step in. Danny Graves has had 1 blown save opportunity all year, and that was his first appearance of the season. But he is in trouble now, giving up back-to-back base hits to Jay Bell and Luis Gonzalez, and now faces Reggie Sanders. Reggie is 1 for 4 with a base hit that drove in the Arizona run way back in the 6th. Let's see how Bob Brenly plays this one with Mark Grace on deck. Infield looking for the ground ball. The stretch, he squares to bunt and takes the strike. Now you rely on fundamentals in a situation like this, and that is the ability to get a bunt down. Sanders has one sacrifice bunt this season. Aaron Boone a step off the grass at third. Sean Casey the same over at first base, and now Sanders backs away from the plate. Diamondbacks have had 9 hits. Reds have collected only 3, but Cincinnati leads 3-1. Here's a pitch. Sanders squares, takes it low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanders scoping out third base coach Chris Spire. Graves, the 4th pitcher tonight for Cincinnati, following Chris Reitsma, Dennis Reyes, and John Riedling. A 1-1 count on Reggie Sanders. Runners at first and second base, none out. He squares. He gets a bunt down. There's a play at third, and they got the out. One bouncer right back to Graves, and he came up firing to Aaron Boone to get the force out at third base on Jay Bell. Big play there for the Reds team, and now with 1 out, Mark Gray steps in. Grace is 0 for 4 tonight. Last time up in the 9th inning, he grounded out to Aaron Boone. So now Gonzalez is at second. Sanders fails to advance the runners. He's at first. And the stretch of the pitch to the left-handed batting Grace, and Mark takes the ball. Danny ready. Checking the runners at first and second pitches. Grace taking strike call on the outside, a fastball. 93-mile-an-hour job from number 32, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Reds scored twice in the top of the inning. 2-run sacrifice fly by Alex Ochoa. Threat by Arizona in the bottom of the inning, and the 1-1 pitch to Mark Grace is taken way outside. On deck is David DeLucci. He apparently will be the man to pinch hit for catcher Damian Miller. 2 on, 1 out. 2 balls and 1 strike on Grace. Back comes Danny Graves, and the pitch is swung on and hit foul to left. Even at 2-2. Danny trying to pick up his 10th save of the season. And this is 16th appearance. That victory last night was his first decision of the season. He brought to the mound, and this appearance a 0.52 ERA. 3-1, Cincinnati in the 11th inning in Phoenix, Arizona, and the 2-2 to Grace. Just off the outside edge, and a big, big pitch coming up right here. He loses Grace. It really could change the whole complexion of the inning. The pinch hitter DeLucci waiting on deck. And Graves is ready to come with a 3-2 pitch. The runners go, and it's swung on and hit back into deep right field. It is going to be off the wall. It's going to get 2 runs home, and this ball game is tied up at 3-3. Mark Grace hammers one off the fence in right field. The runners were moving. Gonzalez and Sanders both score. And the game is all tied up at 3 apiece. So now they got the winning run at second base, and David DeLucci will bat for Damian Miller. Second blown save of the year for Danny Graves. So John Riedling cannot win it. Russ Springer cannot lose it. They're going to intentionally walk the left-handed batting DeLucci to get to Greg Colburn. So after each team scores one run in the first 10 innings of this game, all of a sudden, the 11th inning becomes a big one for both teams. The Reds scored 2 times without benefit of a hit in the top of the 11th. Arizona's come right back to tie it up on the strength of 3 hits off Danny Graves, and they hope they're not done yet. Here's Colburn, who pinch hit in the 9th inning and struck out looking. Remained in the game to play third base. If you are a closer, you're going to have nights like this one. And there's a call strike. If you are a good closer, which Danny Graves is every bit of, nights like this don't happen very often. It's only the second time this season. Here's a 1-strike pitch. And a swing and a miss by Colburn. It's 0-2. Winning run at second base, and Mark Grace, wily old veteran, delivers a 2-run double to tie it up. DeLucci at first, and the 0-2 pitch to Colburn, and that's a ball. At the moment, both bullpens are quiet. If this game goes to a 12th inning, Troy Brohan would still be in the ball game. 1-2 the count, and Colburn swinging and fouling. Swinging and missing, I should say, and that's a strikeout, and they're 2 away in the inning. Here's Craig Counsell at his hit back in the 3rd inning, his first time up tonight. And he's 1 for 4, left-handed batter. So Counsell now tries to wear the laurel of hero for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Colburn strikes out. Counsell bat cocked way high in the air as Graves looks back at second, where Grace leads and delivers and misses low, ball 1. Matt Williams has moved to the on-deck circle to bat for Brohan if they get that far. 1 ball and no strikes on Counsell, and there's 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander warming it again in the Arizona bullpen, Miguel Batista. It's been a rough 11th inning for Danny Graves, who started off by giving a back-to-back hits to Bell and Gonzalez. He delivers, and it's ball 3. So Matt Williams may well be up there pinch hitting for the pitcher with the bases loaded. And the game on the line. Counsell will be taken all the way, and that pitch is ball 4, and they're loaded. Gullett out of the dugout. He's going to go out and talk with Danny Graves. Matt Williams bats for the pitcher. Matt Williams, who started last night, and went 1 for 5. He had a double and a run scored. Didn't start tonight. Apparently has a bit of a hamstring problem. Nothing major, but enough that Bob Brenly opted to sit him down for this one, but now bringing him off the bench. Mark Grace ties the game with a 1-out, 2-run double. Bases loaded. 3-3 in inning number 11. As a veteran Williams, a right-handed batter with power, settles into pitch hit. The stretch by Graves and the pitch, and it's down and away, ball one. Mark Grace at third. David DeLucci at second base. Craig Counsell at first. Jason LaRue drops the sign down. Graves pitches and strike. A breaking ball on the outside edge, and it's dead even against Williams at 1 ball, 1 strike. Danny trying now to send this to the 12th inning. Matt Williams with a 10-game hitting streak, batting .263. The 1-1 to him, and that's the ball. 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in. He has been beset by a multitude of injuries the last few years. He had severe foot problems last season. That seemingly has been corrected. Trying to wrap this one up. He is here in the 11th inning. And Graves pitching behind in the count and misses ball 3. Simply not Danny Graves' night. He's in a world of hurt now with a count 3 balls and 1 strike. Missed with the first pitch, got a breaking ball over, has missed with the last 2. And now he throws the 3-1 to Williams. Here it is, and it's strike 2 call. So it comes down to this. 2 out, 3 on. Home 11. Game tied at 3-3. Matt Williams pinch hitting for the pitcher, Troy Brohan. Danny Graves has run the string out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he straightens up on the mound. And here comes the payoff pitch. And Williams swings and lines it to left field. And that's a foul ball. He hung out a frozen rope, and it's fouled to deep left field. They return. Mark Grace to third. David DeLucci to second. Craig Counsell to first. Matty Williams coming back to the plate. This has been some kind of ball game. Bob Brenly, he loves the numbers. And Matt Williams, a .306 lifetime batting average with the bases loaded. And 10 Grand Slam home runs in his career. He had a pretty good whack at that 3-2 pitch and pulled it foul down the line, and not by much. So they'll do it all over again. 3-3, 2 out, bases loaded. Graves delivers to Williams, and he walked him, and the Arizona Diamondbacks in 11 innings come up with 3 runs. The clincher, a bases loaded walk to Matt Williams, and the Diamondbacks beat the Reds 4-3. We'll be back.